Hey everybody! Whether you dreaded playing versus Zed before the V patch, or you're dreading playing him now that Mort Dog nerfed him 6 ways to Sunday, hopefully this video will help point out some key factors to the build. While this video was actually reviewed the day before the nerfs, it turns out that Zed is still playable. The same ideas shown here still apply, you still have to find the units, or this build collapses. And Shen once again proves he is the true ninja of the rolldown. And in case you didn't know the build, the units you need are the 4 ninjas, Zed, Akali, Kennen, and Shen, and 3 cultists, Eve, which provides Shade with Zed, Pike, which provides Assassin with Akali, and Elise, which provides Keeper with Kennen. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find that this video helps you. So I hope you learned something from the review, and good luck in your future games.
Kuyamilo.
Kuyamilo, okay.
Yeah.
So
So here I
Kuyamilo.
tried, here I tried your strat with the rapid clicking, but for some reason I still lost and I was upset.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
The only normally I try to get slightly ahead of it so you kind of run back into the guy instead of chase him.
hmm
But it is a little bit of RNG.
Yeah.
So cloak, I mean, not the worst because you end up ideally you'd have 2 cloaks, but not the best starting item. And you didn't have any volume on your game, right?
I did, but it was very weak.
Okay. Well, I don't think we need it anyways. Just checking.
Yeah.
All right. So potential cultist, you never know. Although of course you already know, but I haven't seen it
Uh,
yet. So belt though, so that if you get a sword, you can get an early Zeke's. That might be good. Oh, chain. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so at this point I was just considering, is this a dust game?
Right. I mean, you could. Yeah. I don't know if you want to throw in. Well, you still got one more round, but see if you can throw in like a Kench eventually or something. If have some kind of tank. Yeah, I mean, Elise.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, I need a front line badly, but I wanted to see what I got from here.
Yeah, you got to go for the greed sometimes. Hopefully, it pays off. Oh, there you go. You got some gold.
Yeah.
Hey, not bad. I mean, I normally just sell Lux early, but I mean,
Honestly, I don't know why I kept her.
you could you could sell her and sell a even the Aphelios and get to 4. Um, and maybe
So here's
maybe you could have even thrown in Jax Yasuo instead of Kench at 4.
So yeah, I was thinking about that, and what worried me here, and I think this is a consistent worry that I have for my early game, is do I want to grief to try to get bow?
Well, yeah, that's I was actually watching that. If you heard of Asian Gamer 5,
Yeah.
yeah, he plays a lot of Zed. So he was saying actually that he only does that. He only like open forts in the beginning. If his comp is like horrible, he prefers to win streak early and kind of just more like hope for bows later. Um, so I mean, if you open fort and you get, let's say down to like 80 something hit points, you got to be able to have faith that you'll recover. Because also, what if there's like a spatula carousel? Well, then you're like, oh no, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Now you could, do you sell for 10 here? I mean, you have a bunch of gold on your bench.
I was thinking about it. I think I do. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, no, I don't. I sell for 10 next turn.
Okay. Because I mean, you really aren't going to be using Lux and Aphelios anyways. That's an automatic 5. You could have even just, I mean, at this point, gone to 4 and thrown in Garen if you wanted to, just to get an extra,
Unit in?
yeah, an extra unit. I mean, again, you might have been thinking you were going to throw, so I don't know. Might have been counterintuitive, but And I mean, if you got those the two cutlass with 4 gold sitting on the bench too, that are you gonna, are you thinking of committing to that if another cultist shows up, or are you just kind of hoping?
I think my thought process here was keep all the pairs for that power spike eventually, but that also might be like an old way of thinking where you keep your pairs because strongest board in at least in stage 2 was, as many 2 stars as possible. Less
Right.
so synergies. Yeah.
I think the problem is that early on you want to try to make econ. So holding pairs that you're not really using is probably holding you back. Because if you would have made 10 last round, you could have been up to what, 14, 15 this round. And if you would have uh, won, I don't know, if you have a loss streak going on, you could have probably hit 20 by next round, potentially, just kind of depending on how you're doing.
Okay.
I mean, another thing, you could have thrown in Jarvan and hit and taken out Vayne and put in
Warlords.
Warlord as
Yeah.
well, because a level 1 Vayne isn't really doing you a whole lot.
Yeah.
So okay, nothing else really can get. Well, I actually wasn't looking. Did that other guy get sword first, or did
Which guy?
the guy up here on top, did he get sword on first pick, or was he? Yeah, he probably did. Okay.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, he was first pick. Okay, I was just checking in case he missed Zeke's, but yeah, you got that. So you can get a, QSS at least.
Oh, yeah. The first two or first pick got bow sword.
So here again, you have another Jarvan that you could level up. You have 19 gold. You can either choose to keep losing or turn it around a little bit and throw in Warlord. Kind of up to you. I mean, losing through stage 1, like for a 5 loss streak, is really good, as long as you're obviously barely losing. So hopefully that Garion to level 2 helped you out enough. Oh,
It did help.
okay, it's a pretty good loss.
Yeah.
And you made 20. Cool.
Yeah. So my thought process in that round was I could take out the Garen, but I got the 2-star Garen and put in keepers if I kept Kennen. But yeah.
Yeah, that, or I mean, you could have also thrown in Elise,
Yeah.
and made Warlord, and like we said before, and dropped Vayne.
Yeah.
But now you hit Vayne too, so that's good. And do you check other boards very often, or do you kind
I
of?
do I do starting round 3.
Okay.
Because in this round, as far as positioning goes, I just automatically assume everyone's putting their stuff on the left or on the right.
Yeah, I've found a lot of times people actually start switching, so they're on my left, and so I mean, early on they start right and then they switch. I don't know. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly what level, but
Pro-
that wasn't the greatest loss.
this wasn't, yeah. And I think this is what starts like the horrible losses.
Oh shoot, you sold the TF, which you had to make econ, but there's that Callista just in case. But now you can't
Yeah.
go into cultist. But I mean, you have 2-star sharpshooter, so that should be good enough.
Gonna have 4 vanguards at 5.
So are you planning on this so you can kind of turn your loss streak around right now?
Yeah. I was thinking like might as well have Vanguard 4 because I really don't have much going on. It was more so to mitigate losses because I knew that my backline wasn't strong enough with the items that I had. So maybe just having like Vanguard 4 would help me sustain and just kind of stay above 50 gold and above 50 health
And
going into round 4-1.
you hit your zigs too. So
Yeah. I forgot to put Garen in the middle here.
spin to win. No, I normally just throw on like an extra armor on something I'm not using that I know I'm gonna sell. And oh,
That, that's what I did.
there you go. You're reading my mind in the past. I mean, yeah, you could have probably put something next to that vein just to get the Zeeks, like the Hecarim or something, but it's not a huge deal. So I mean, if you keep losing a little bit, you might want to even. Oh, look at that! Boom. I was gonna say maybe consider getting rid of that Wukong and putting in like you just hit Cultist right now.
I know I put in Cultist. I'm trying to figure out when I did. Might be this round.
Because I mean, the lose streak money is good, but I mean, if you're
Yeah, it's at the expense of my health at this
yeah,
point. Okay, so it's next round. Like I can tell from my mouse movements, I was really thinking about it. But I think the reason why I didn't was more so like I was trying to figure out which was stronger, a board full of 2 stars or 1 star cultist.
right. And also, I was just thinking too, if you, I mean, if you, because you're again, you haven't really even had a chance at winning. So
Yeah,
I was thinking a little bit mix it up, but also if you sell your Wukong and you're already at level 5, you also might have a chance to hit another 2 star, even if you only put it in for a few rounds. Some other chosen that might just help you stabilize a little bit. So you went for assassin
I
instead
think
of cult. Okay, there you
there we go.
went.
No, because I was looking around. I'm like, I'm supposed to have cultist and assassin. What happened here?
Right,
Oh wait,
right.
Wukong is still in. But yeah, the reason why I put cultist in this round was again, I recognized I didn't have a chance at winning. Might as well see if this is stronger. Because even if I lose this game, at least I'll know for next game.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing I was thinking is you were getting beat up pretty bad each round, and look at this, you only lost by a little bit. So, I mean, you could have sold your Garen and bought the. Oh, you sold
Hecarim.
oh the Hecarim. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, you
because
seem to
it's
be like right as I'm saying it. You do, you do. So here you get a bow here, so that's good.
yeah. Usually now is when I start scouting. There we go.
All right, so the first time is stage 3-4. So maybe a little bit next time you want to look a little earlier, but
What am I looking
at
for
least
in
you're
early
getting the.
scouting?
Well, I mean, like right there, you just saw like the Zed in the corner. I mean, that was a shade Zed with a bow already. So if you knew that he would be on the left, then he would be jumping right into you, which
Mm,
you'd want to avoid. I mean, it's just looking for either assassins that are going to jump into you, or now that you have assassins, where you want to jump onto them. So if they have like a lone Nidalee or something in the corner, you want to just get rid of real quick, or you can maybe put your Wukong back to guard you from their assassins jumping into you. It's kind of like a both offensive and defensive that you want to look at.
I see. I see.
So
I
yeah,
have
it's
no
good to
idea what
have
I'm thinking about
the.
right now.
I was gonna say you're not scouting, you're not really doing anything, you're not buying, you're not. Okay. But yeah, it's good you have the Eve next to the Zeke because that's good. I'm not sure why you're holding the Garen, but maybe just to put it in at 7. But normally you want to roll down at 4-1.
I think it's because I wasn't gonna make 7 now, and holding on to pieces now just doesn't really do much. I think that's why I held on to them.
Yeah, see, this board is actually a lot better for you. So if you, I mean, just good thing you at least attempted it and it worked. And then oh, If you would have lost, that would have been a 9 lose streak. That would have been amazing.
Would have been.
But at least you have, your health. So that's good. Yeah, so you'll hit 7 on the turn. That'll be good. And you already got your Kennen and Akali, Elise, and Pike. So that's and Eve. So that's half your units or more.
Yeah, we're just missing Shen and Zed.
Another thing, I mean, because I'm assuming you saw that like the other guy had that Shade Zed. Is you want to? I usually just look like see this guy has 2 Zeds. Just look around to see how many people are actually playing it, just to kind of get an idea of how far you're willing to roll down. 20 gold, 10 gold. If you don't hit your units.
So yeah, so before we get into the 4-1 roll down, do you personally roll at 4-1 until you find Shen?
Yeah, I mean it depends if my board like if I find like a 2-star Zed with really good items and I can somewhat stabilize and maybe not lose that many hit points, but I normally roll down to at least like 20 looking for it.
And if you
Um,
don't hit it,
if I don't hit it, then like I said, if I'm not stable, maybe I'll try to run like a cultist, 6 cultist with Zed instead to kind of like hold on until I can find it. I mean, I've had times where I found a 2-star Azir and still didn't find Shen. So it's kind of a hit or miss on Shen, unfortunately. But um, obviously, you don't really want to roll down all the way to 0. But I usually go to at least 20, sometimes even 10, depending on how many other Zeds are gone. Because if they're already getting like their 3-star Zed and you're barely 2-star, then you can't really uh, hold yourself with just a 2-star Zed without ninjas.
yeah.
And normally you also if you're still looking for units like Shen and all that, you don't need have to 2-star like your Eve because that just took up 6 gold that now you don't have to roll with. So picking up Keeper, that's fine because again you don't have your ninjas yet, so it's a way to help stabilize. You didn't put it in though, so that's
Yeah, I
interesting. But
realize that.
so you can also I'm not sure if you already have a QSS and you have an extra glove, so you could probably just slam a Hodge right here if you wanted to. Um, you can keep the belt open for potential another Zeke's, but you don't really need any other glove items unless you want to look for maybe a thieves glove. But and you went below, unfortunately, went below 10 gold. So I mean, yeah, at least you're not having your Zed on there as well because that would obviously give you the 2 ninjas, which would take away any damage that Cannon would give out. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like you found 2-star Pike, 2-star Eve, all these other 2-stars, but yeah, there's your Hodge. But you kind of you would have had an extra 10 gold to roll with to look for Shen if you wouldn't have 2-starred him, but it might have helped your stabilization. I guess we'll see. And I'd be curious right now to look around other boards and see how many Zeds are gone still because you've only found one.
I think that's what I do next turn.
Because if there's a lot of Zeds gone and you're still, I mean, at this point, yeah. Oh, okay, you got lucky. I was gonna say, if you don't find Shen and there's a lot of other Zeds gone, you might try to save and hit 8, and throw in something because if you can't find Shen and you only have a 1-star Zed, you might look for other options. So we have hope. And again, you also want to scout around to see where your Zed's going to jump into because you want Zed to jump in. He doesn't have his RFC yet, but you want him to jump into openness So you don't
Yeah.
want him to jump into a crowd. So typically you scout before every round to see, people will switch back and forth, and you want to see where you're jumping in. And it's really easy to switch, obviously. You just put Zedakali and Kennen and switch Pike with Elise, and you're done. It takes like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So this is where you cross your fingers for a bow. You're lucky it spawned on your side.
I know, right?
I've had those games where you see it just walking away from you, and you're like, "No, come back!"
And the other guy's just like, hey, I got it.
Yeah, he does the thing where he walks next to it but doesn't take it and just kind of staggers, and he's like, "Ha ha ha ha! You can't get this."
Yep. Then he takes it, and then he follows you to wherever you go, and then he's taunting, and you're just like,
Yeah, I had a guy actually spam his little taunt for a straight 9 seconds on me after he got it. So at
it.
this point, this is hopefully your stabilization, and you definitely need to scout around to where you're jumping in right now.
I don't know when I scouted, but for some reason I felt super confident that. Oh, there it is.
Okay, so
That
that's
everyone
fine.
was positioned on the left.
Now, do you have a? You can also bind a key to change boards. You know that, right?
Yeah. So the reason why I don't is because I like to keep track of who I'm looking at. So I just go down the list instead.
Okay.
Because like if I use the button, I think it goes clockwise on the map, and that's generally not the placement case. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends. I just do it because typically, if there's like, all but like one set of people are on one side, and you can recall, well, I fought them like 3 fights ago, then I'm good, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's more of like, yeah, just kind of like a numbers game. I mean, you're at 19 health. I'd probably roll a little bit just to find Zed because the 2-star would help you a lot because you're still, 30 gold away from getting level 8. You don't know offhand how many Zeds are out there because you haven't really scouted again. Okay. Oh, oh. I saw a few.
I think at this point I knew that there were like I think 11 Zeds out. No, not 11. There were 9 Zeds
Okay.
out of 22.
So you still have a decent chance. Um, I mean, your Z1 is working for now, it looks like. But yeah, at this point, it's a lot of just position and making sure you don't jump into people. And then depending on, if and when you get level 8, where you're going to put your whatever new unit you get. So, like if you find a Zir, like even if you find a Zir here randomly, you can take out Elise and throw in a Zir. Well, maybe not Elise, maybe you could take out, like a Pike or something for Keeper. But Pike is a really good unit, so those are the kind of decisions you have to kind of run through your head. Um, like a Kane, but it's not really that great. Yone is actually a little better than Kane. Um, so you got to kind of just think about what you get and how you'd replace units. So it looks like you get a Trap Claw.
At this point I was thinking, well, looks like I'm 8th.
I mean, you could probably just level here, unless you got two options. You can either roll for that level 2-star Z, or go to 8 right now because you just hit 5-1 now, and you're just kind of sitting here with 50 gold. I mean, you got to take some action because you only have 19 hit points.
Mhm. So I think I was keeping track of who I was playing, and I knew that I was going to be up against a lower 4 player. So I thought that with the Z1 I could be stable, especially because I knew that this player also. Who did he Zephyr? Oh, he Zephyred Evelyn. Yeah, I think the decision that I made here was if I like the next time I lose a round, that's when I will probably get to 8.
Yeah, but if you get, stomped, you could have like 2 hit points, and that's only one death left, right?
Yeah,
That's that's a gamble, but I mean, yeah,
it is.
if you're willing to do it, it's kind of up to you.
Because I knew from the last 2 or the last 3 rounds I faced first, second, and third. So I was pretty confident that since I did beat first and second, that I could beat the bottom 4, which I had a 60% chance of like going up against. So I stayed, and the same I think the same percentage chance of fighting a bottom 4 player also was here, which is why I stopped and I said, all right, I'll just get to 5-3 next, or I'll get to level 8 at 5-3.
Okay, but I'm still
Yeah.
like, I noticed too, you're not scouting again, so at least I scout every round, just because people switch every round. So
Hmm.
you don't want to just say, oh well, they were here this one time, and then hope they're still there.
Okay.
Just a habit, I guess.
No, it's a good habit to have.
So yeah, looks apparently Z1 is holding his own.
Yeah.
But I would probably, you know, maybe roll a little bit to get Zed and then go to 8, because just kind of sitting here, I don't know, it just seems stalling a little bit to me, and you could probably get in another unit that would help you, secure your. It seems like you rolled a 50, and then you're like, all right, I hit 50. Oh, you're going for it. Okay, that's good. Well, I wouldn't roll this much for Zed. That's way too much. No, 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 no. Because you were winning with 1 star Zed, and you just rolled 30 gold and you didn't find it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably would rolled a little bit, and then again just consider going to 8, because then you could throw in a Riven or something, or Jarvan for 4 keeper, Azir if you're super lucky and you find it.
I see.
Yeah, I mean this guy has a, well, looks like set. I mean level 1 set isn't really that good, so
Yeah, and I got lucky with the kill before ult.
I mean here if you pick up that Yone and go to 8, oh that jerk. So
Yeah, at
you
this point I chose the Last Whisper because Zed needed a third item.
okay? I was kind of thinking if you go maybe go for like the GA, and then you level and you find any 5 star, you could throw it on them. Because I mean you still only have 1 star Zed. You're gonna find 2. I mean, hopefully at least. Last Whisper's okay. It's not amazing, but I mean, I'm assuming you could probably survive to the next or the next level 7, or not stage 7 on this one. 5-7 is what I'm trying to say. Where you could, maybe you find a Runehounds or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm
I
being a
see.
little greedy too. I'm just kind of, I for some reason in my head I really 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 want you to go level 8, and you're just kind of sitting here waiting for 2 star Zed.
No, trust me, I'm watching this and I'm also beating myself up, going, "Why am I rolling?"
Yeah. Well, at least you scouted, and there's no one that is gonna that you jump into, so that's good. That one hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, are you now thinking, well, I have to go 8? Is that kind of
And
your?
now it's 8.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can be a little more proactive, I think, and then, uh-oh, you're rolling.
What
Okay. Well, you're still rolling for Zed. Okay, you found it, but
I
now you can't make 8.
Yeah, and I think this is the last round because I do. Wait, no, no, this is not the last round.
And you're not scouting again. Again, they're just little things I'm thinking about, but oh, there you go. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so jumping into them is fine. I mean, you have QSS. That's not gonna Lux isn't gonna do anything really.
Never mind. This is the last round.
Okay, I was gonna say you do this 1v4. Oh man, that's impressive. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm just waiting to see if Azurus loses, and he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that when you lose and they're like waiting for combat and you're like just show me.
Yeah.
So I would say yeah, I'd say just kind of things to think about next time would be maybe get in the habit of scouting just to double check even the people that you're not going to face just to I don't know just to kind of see their habits of whether they go back and forth a lot or they stay on one side. Maybe don't spend so much gold looking for Z2 and get to 8 instead, and then maybe find Kane, Yone, something just to help stabilize you, or a Riven. You could have gone 4 keeper. Would have helped you a little bit. Any other things you're thinking about or questions you have?
Yeah. So my key takeaways from watching this one was it's not necessarily the early game because the early game I did have like a 2-star front line and a 2-star back line and a decent chosen, which was Vanguard. What lost me this game wasn't necessarily the terrible early game, but the the lack of understanding that at that point getting to 8 would have been stronger than getting a Z2.
Right.
Yeah, and I think so. So yeah, I have a pretty good idea. I think at this point that I know what mid game looks like, and I guess I know what early game looks like. But so yeah, I think working on end game stuff is what I need right now to do that push to master.
Yeah, I mean, because I think though you were at maybe around 50 something hit points when you're at 4-1. So maybe if you can bump that up just a little bit to give yourself a little bit more of a buffer, like in case you don't see Shen, like this happens, that happens a lot actually. So
Yeah,
if you can't find it and you gotta keep Zed in, or like in this case the keeper cannon, you still have a few extra rounds that you can kind of waver to still find that Shen. Yeah, and then like you said before, just kind of realizing once you can go 8, because Zed isn't going to be a 2-star Zed isn't going to carry you, but maybe a throwing in a Kane or Yone or an
yeah.
Azir or something like that will definitely help a lot.
So what are you? So let's say that I get RFC 100% of the time.
Okay.
What are your next 2 items? Like let's say that QSS and Runon's was not available. What would your next 2 items be
For Zed or for other like
for
I
Zed? For Zed,
for Zed, well you can get Hodge is okay, Bloodthirster's okay. Last Whisper can work. That's like the last one that you'd kind of look for, but I was actually just watching an Asian gamer. He threw on, I think it was a Last Whisper IE or Bloodthirster, and it didn't work at all. So if you have the RFC, the QSS is really important. If you can't get that, it does. If you can go like I mean RFC Hurricane, um, Bloodthirster or something, that still is going to be good. But QSS, I mean, my overall items for the whole team is the RFC and then a Zeke's and then the QSS. But I think
okay.
Asian sometimes he used to prioritize the Hurricane over the QSS, but he recently was starting to go back to QSS. So those are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah,
It depends on the lobby.
I was watching a C9's player play Zed yesterday,
Soju.
and yeah Soju, and he said get Hurricane after your RFC instead of QSS because what are you RFCing? Like you do no damage. So
Oh, I forgot Rageblade. Sorry about that. No, Rageblade is I don't know how that's in my mind. Yeah, Rageblade it'd be RFC, Hurricane, Rageblade. Those are the 3 if you don't
yeah,
have QSS,
got
obviously.
it. Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. So I mean, the QSS, Hurricane are interchangeable, but it kind of depends who you ask, I guess, and also like the lobby. If there's a lot of like Divine CC, maybe you want to go QSS. But if there's not a lot of CC, because you're already shade, and so you're dipping in and out of combat, so it does help a lot.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to find out when my next review is posted. If you have any questions about the video or you'd like some coaching yourself, please leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer any and all questions, no matter what rank you are.